without a doubt, there are things that some people do not care about, okay? It's the truth. Hurt so much, make you pull a tooth. I don't know. But anyways, back to what we were talking about in this process, okay? Listen, I know people want to be different. I know you want to separate yourself from the pack. We all want to differentiate in some sort of way, okay? Which is good, you know. However, understand that differentiation is just one strategic option out of this whole niche thing. By jumping into business alone, you know, you're already going to be somewhat different than all of your other competitors. You're going to be different because you're a different owner. You have different values already. You maybe your favorite color is something different. You already live in a different location. You already have some type of a different background, okay? So you don't have to really overdo it when it comes to this area. When we think about differentiation, you definitely want to think a little bit outside the box, but it still comes down to, you know, being yourself and really picking key things that you're going to use that are going to be substantially different. Both of these two restaurants, they sell the same thing, but they have different names. They sell the same thing, but they use a different bun, or they use like I can list 3 restaurants right now, okay? McDonald's, Burger King, Five Guys. Burger King is a little bit more expensive than McDonald's. Five Guys is a little bit more expensive than Burger King. That's already one thing that they're all different in. They all have burgers. They're all selling burgers. But guess what? You know, the buns are different. Each of their buns are different. Each of their pickles are different. So you're doing the same exact thing, you know what I'm saying, as, you know, you're getting into this strategy. But understand that just by going into business alone, you're already different. What's going to be that key thing that makes you different, that people actually care about? Because some things people don't care about, and if we spend a lot of time on getting better at the things that the customers or your clients don't really, you know, care about, then you have to find ways to make them care about it, and they don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? So then that goes back into educating and all of these other things. And so you can implement something into your business that people didn't really know that they cared about, that you present to them that they do care about. But if they care about it, right, then when you presented it to them, it just wasn't at the top of their mind. It was already something that they actually valued, that they actually cared about. You just repurposed it or presented it to them in a way that made them remember that it is something that they value. But what I'm saying is there are just some things that people they're not worried about it, bro. They're not worried about it. People that shop at Walmart, they don't, some of them don't really care about the carts being in the parking lot all over the place, because they still shop there. We still go. Like, not to say that it's not important. We don't want our cars to be hit. We don't want to, you know, it's very important. You know, when we get into the store, most people want to be able to take their card to wherever. But the people that continuously shop at Walmart, the people that are brand loyal to Walmart, that's probably one of the things that's on our least of priorities of things that we care about in terms of like the entire going into there and having a shopping experience. Because if we keep going there, or we keep shopping there, then that probably isn't the biggest issue or thing that we care about the most. And maybe something else in there that we're attracted to, right? So getting back into this, okay, pursuing a differentiation strategy includes risks. One danger is trying to differentiate a product or service on the basis of something that does not boost its performance or lower its cost to the buyer. Okay, that's everything I just said, like in a nutshell. One danger is trying to differentiate a product or service on the basis of something that does not boost its performance or lower its cost to the buyer. Another pitfall is trying to differentiate on the basis of something that customers do not perceive as important. Business owners also must consider how long they can sustain a product or service differentiation. Changing customer tastes makes the basis for differentiation temporary at best. Imitations and knockoffs from competitors also pose a threat to a successful differentiation strategy. For instance, designers of high-priced original clothing see much cheaper knockoff products on the market shortly after their designs hit the market. Another danger of this strategy is over-differentiating and charging so much that a company prices its products out of its target customers' reach. The final risk is focusing only on the physical characteristics of a product or service and ignoring important physiological factors such as status, prestige, and image, which can be powerful sources of differentiation. So just remember, when it comes to differentiation, that you want to do it in a way that your clients or your customers, your target, they care about. You want to do it in a way that you care about. You're always going to be changing something. You're always going to be doing something. This product that you have is going to have a version 1 and version 2. Like, there's going to be another iPhone. There's going to be another Samsung. There probably going to be another Xbox at some point. There's going to be a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th edition of a certain book. Okay? It's going to be different regardless. Okay? You're not going to try to, you want to imitate to a certain extent, but just do it in your own way. And that's one way that you can really take your niche to the next level, because you already know what you want to do, or you don't have an idea yet, but you know what areas you'll be different in when you do decide on whatever your niche is going to be. So when you do decide on whatever your niche is going to be, that's it. Okay? So the book gives a really cool example right here. And in the book, they have this storefront right here, and it says Big and Tall Men's Shop, and then it has Short and Squatty Menswear. Okay, so there you go, right there. Same exact thing. One store is for men that are big and tall. The other one is a store for men who are short and squatty. It can be very simple, and that has, like, it was no colors on this. It was no it was no mission statement or anything like that in the front. It was simple, straight to the point. For men that are big and tall, clothing. For men that are short and squatty, clothing, right? Everything else, all the other different things that come into that niche, are gonna come after we get some of the little kinks ironed out as far as what that is. So boom, last but not least, and this is the one that I wanted to get into that I didn't get into before, which is why I had to make this video, is a focus strategy. Okay. Focus strategy. Okay. Let's get into it. What the book talks about and what the book says the focus strategy is. All right. A focus strategy recognizes that not all markets are homogeneous. In fact, in any given market, there are many different customer segments, each having different needs, wants, and characteristics. The principal idea of this strategy is to select one or more segments, identify customers' special needs, wants, and interests, and approach them with a good or service designed to excel in meeting these needs, wants, and interests. Focus strategies build on differences among market segments. Using a focus strategy, entrepreneurs concentrate on serving in a niche. There's that word. On serving a niche in the market rather than trying to reach the entire market. Okay. That was a lot. What do we get out of this? I'm going to just read the first sentence again. I'm going to read the last sentence again. A focus strategy recognizes that not all markets are homogeneous, or not all markets are the same, okay, or similar. A focus strategy recognizes that not all markets are the same. Last sentence. Using a focus strategy, entrepreneurs concentrate on serving a niche or niche in the market rather than trying to reach the entire market. Now look, I didn't know that the book was going to say what the book said about the niches. I was just using this specific segment of the book to tell you and to give y'all some more information about this. But it literally goes into exactly what I was talking about, which just helps me further clarify the point that I'm trying to make with you, which is that using one of these strategies will definitely help you narrow down or, differentiate or it will help you in choosing a niche. This is a real strategy, textbook information from people that have done business, from real world examples and this college education to you for free. Okay, this is what we need, folks. This is what we need. I want people to stay in business as long as possible, and I want people to really get started in business. But in order to stay in business as long as possible, we got to be able to get started in business. And one of the reasons that we're not able to get started in business is because we have this idea, we get into it for a while, and then we hear this word niche, and then we start thinking about target customers and all this, and it's like, okay, what is this whole niche thing? Okay, so that's why we're here today, all right? Figuring out this thing, and this part of the book specifically goes in to focus, okay? So when they're talking about narrowing down your niche or getting specific with your niche or your niche, this is the strategy. This is the textbook definition of the strategy that they're talking about when they're talking about narrowing down or being specific with your target market, okay? Again, focus strategies build on differences among market segments. Using a focus strategy, entrepreneurs concentrate on serving a niche in the market rather than trying to reach the entire market. I'm going to continue to read, all right? A successful focus strategy depends on a small company's ability to identify the changing needs of its target customer group and to develop the skills required to serve them. I'm gonna read that sentence again because I changed my vocals, so I'm gonna read that one more time. A successful focus strategy depends on a small company's ability to identify the changing needs of its target customer group and to develop the skills required to serve them. It's so much in these sentences I want to unpack, okay? Because okay, but I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm gonna break it down after. That means the owner and everyone in the organization must have a clear understanding of how to add value to the product or service for the customer. Rather than attempting to serve the total market, a small company pursuing a focus strategy specializes in serving a specific target segment or niche that larger companies do not serve or cannot serve profitably. Come on, man. Like, and I'm not like my granddad said I was gonna be a preacher. I don't know. Am I preaching today? Like, are y'all getting this? Am I dropping gems? Do y'all like this? I don't know. I don't want to break this down just yet because I want to get through the whole thing. But I really feel like I'm reading scripture right now. I'm reading like biblical scripture right now, and everything is coming full circle about what I was saying. Okay, so let's read this again. This is some good stuff, but I get my highlighter out. Y'all gonna make me y'all got me back in college again. We're back in college together. Let's do it. Okay, again. Rather than attempting to serve the total market, a small company pursuing a focus strategy specializes in serving a specific target segment or niche that larger companies do not serve or cannot serve profitably. A focus strategy is ideally suited to many small businesses which often lack the resources to reach the overall market. Their goal is to serve their narrow target markets more effectively and efficiently than do competitors that pound away at the broad market. Common bases for building a focus strategy include zeroing in on a small geographic area, targeting a group of customers with similar needs or interests, or specializing in a specific product or service. Okay. The book continues. The book continues with an example. Okay. Now, just with that, what I just said, like, you could take that and run, okay? Because that is basically what everyone is telling you to do. Now, that's basically what everyone is telling you to do as the new entry-level entrepreneur, as the new business owner. Is like, that's what everyone is telling you to do, okay? Because you meet certain criteria. But it's just a strategy. At the end of the day, it's a strategy, and if you want to use this, because there are unlimited amounts of strategies out there, okay? Majority of the time, when people are telling you to pick a niche, this is the strategy that they're telling you to do. So, given this information right here, you can really take that, you can run with it. I'm gonna break it down, and then I'll give you the example that the book gives you, and we can go from there. Okay, so there was a couple things that stood out to me in this that I'm gonna clarify, and that you have to have this in order to do this strategy, because there's some key things in here that just, if you're not doing these things, then the strategy isn't going to work for you. And that's just being real. Like, real deal, business 101. In order to do this strategy, it requires a couple of things. Okay. So, again, the principal idea of this strategy is to select one or more segments, identify special needs, wants, and interests, and approach them with a good or service designed to excel in meeting these needs, wants, and interests. What does that mean, guys? That means the idea of this is that you can get focused, you can get specific by taking a couple of things, putting it together, and just understanding that the things that you now put together are the one thing. They are the focus. They are the, like, what people want is what people want. Somebody wants, and this is why restaurants do this. This is why they take, a bunch of things on the menu and they put them together in this one restaurant because they want to be able to service multiple people. Like, Subway has pizzas. You can go in there, you can make a pizza at Subway. I don't really like Subway like that. I don't like their sandwiches. But if I want to get like a quick little pan style pizza, I wouldn't mind going in there and getting it, because y'all know pizza is my favorite food. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sure. Like, I probably wouldn't go in there for a sandwich, but now they have another option, and they just serve someone like me who is a pizza lover, okay, and wants a quick bite. So that's just one little example off the top of my head. But understand this. The strategy is to select one or more segments. Identify customers' special needs, wants, and interests. So special, like, it has to be something special to them. Okay? But going back down, again, the book highlights this point right here, which is the focus strategy builds on differences among market segments. Okay? The differences among these industries and among these market segments, and then they kind of like tie them all together. Another thing about this is that when you niche down, when you're niching, when you're doing this focus strategy, you are intentionally not trying to service everyone. You are intentionally not trying to service everyone. You are intentionally not trying to service everyone. Say it with me. I am intentionally not trying to service everyone. I'm intentionally not trying to service everyone. I'm not trying to sell everybody. I'm not trying to dominate the market. I'm not trying to help people everywhere. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not. The focus strategy focuses on not trying to service everybody. Think of it like this pen, right? I'm gonna try to make this make sense. Okay. Think that you're a pen manufacturer, salesman, or you get in the industry of pens. There are a lot of components to this pen. Okay? To say I want to sell pens to everybody is trying to service the entire market. To say I'm trying to sell pens to all of the public school systems, still very broad. Okay. To say I'm trying to sell pens to all of the private schools, still a little niche down, but it's still very broad. Okay. To say I'm going to sell a specific type of pen to a specific community in a specific location for a specific amount of time because this specific thing is going on and they need it right now, that's a focus. Okay, that's a focus. That's more of a focus. So think about that. We are intentionally not trying to service everybody. We are intentionally not trying to sell everybody. We are intentionally not trying to give this product to everybody that passed by. We're not trying to pitch everybody. We're not trying to sell everybody, because we understand that it's special. We understand that it was made and intended for a specific group of people. And, it just is what it is. If you're not in that group of people, then I may tell you about my business, but I'm not trying to sell you on my business. I'm not trying to sell you my product, because it's really not something that you need. Help people save their time and resources. Don't try to do your thing. Anyways, do what you want to do. Anyways, it's your business. Do what you want. Okay, some other key points that stood out to me in this was in this next paragraph here. So, a successful focus strategy depends on the smallest company ability to identify the changing needs of its target customer group. Key. Ability to identify the changing needs of its target customers group, and to, key, develop the skills required to serve them. Guys, this is not a one-time fix. This is not a one swing fix all. This is not like a one hitter, a home run. Like this is not a, I don't know, guys. If you're doing this strategy, if you're doing a focus strategy, it's not a one size fit all that's gonna continue to work for you. If you're doing the focus strategy, when you do the focus strategy, it's an ongoing journey of identifying what's going on and developing the skills needed to fix the problem. It's ongoing. Things are changing in the market. Things are changing with your clientele. Things are changing on a day-to-day basis, just in the world, period. Things are always changing. And the ability to adapt, the ability to be able to develop the skills required to fix the problem is going to depend on you. It's going to depend on your team. It's going to depend on, your ability to identify the needs. Okay, if you have to have the ability to identify the needs. Okay, now if you don't know what the person's needs are, then I challenge you to be a little more observant. Challenge you to be a little more caring and talkative, and really go in depth with what else is going on. A lot of people have a issue when it comes to time commitment, right? And there are plenty of people out here who are helping each other with productivity and time blocking and scheduling and things like that, right? But at the end of the day, we also get the same 24 hours. You can get advice, but to apply it is one thing. You can get, all of these things, but to actually sit down and identify what is it that's keeping you, specifically you, from being more productive. You know how to do time blocking, you know how to make a schedule, you know how to open up a calendar, you know how to use an agenda. We all had agendas in school. We all had homework. We all make it to work on time. Some of us a couple minutes late, whatever. We all get off work at a certain, we all have these things. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but having the ability to identify, right, just going back to this, the changing needs means that you understand, okay, my clients are going through a transition right now. My clients, they're getting ready for a marathon right now. My client their family's about to bring a new baby into the family right now. My clients getting ready to graduate college. These are things that are, when you're talking about focus, right? You really have to have the ability to identify what's going on with people in their lives. Not saying that you're being nosy, but you're just aware, you're observant, you actually care about the people that you're serving, and so the things that matter to them also matter to you. That makes sense? And once we're able to identify what's going on with our clients, with our customers, with our team, and things like that, then that helps us identify places that we can help best, and we can develop the skills that we need to help serve the problem, right? It's an ongoing thing. People are changing all the time. People are getting older. Babies are being born. Businesses are being started. It's an ongoing thing, this focus strategy. It's always ongoing. Rather than attempting to serve the total market, a small company pursuing a focus strategy specializes in serving a specific target market or niche that larger companies do not serve or cannot serve profitably. Okay, look. There is absolutely something that you can do well that a big company is not able to do well. There's absolutely something that you can do well that a big company is not able to do well. In my personal experience, I've done it. I've outperformed big companies. I've outperformed big companies. And the reason why is because of what I just mentioned. I know what's going on with my consumers. I know what's going on with my clientele. My clientele, to a certain extent, they have an idea of what's going on with me. I care about them. My timeliness is a little better. I can get back to them quickly, as opposed to this large organization who's putting you on hold and who's not, willing to refund you your money, and who's giving you to run around, and you got to be there at a certain time, and it's just kind of a headache, right? Imagine calling your bank, and you gotta enter your password, you gotta do all these things, you gotta just to get them to, I don't know, unlock your password or reset your password so you can log into your account again, or which is good, right? You need security and all that, absolutely, when it comes to money. But maybe it wasn't as serious as that. Maybe you just wanted to tell them to stop the scheduling of something that was going to come out automatically so that you could, I don't know, do something else. And so you got to go through this whole process. You got to talk to all these people, ask you all these questions, just to transfer you to somebody else. Wait 30 minutes, get hung up on, call back again. It's like, dang, bro, like I wasted an hour. I wasn't able to do this online, so I wasted an hour. But as a small business owner, as an entry-level entrepreneur, someone that's starting out in this specific focus strategy or niche, you have the opportunity to like literally be right there with your person and give them exactly what they need, like that. Like that. They don't have to ship something to you and wait for it to come back. They don't have to get on the phone and wait for an hour for an answer. They don't have to understand as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have the ability to really change people's lives and make their life a little more convenient because they don't have to jump through all of these hoops. That's just one way, okay, that you can outperform big companies as a small business owner starting out. Okay, it's like very entry-level entrepreneur. Okay, so that's just one way that you could say that they're probably not serving profitably, or it's not, helping them with their profits. Okay, a focus strategy is ideally suited to many small businesses which often lack the resources to reach the overall market. So look, maybe you do want to go big, and that's great. Going big takes resources. Going big takes a team. Going international takes a lot of know-how. It takes a lot of grind and grit, and it takes a lot of resources. So one of the books that I'm reading right now is about being resourceful, how entrepreneurs can be resourceful. And it's a great book, okay? I don't have it up here on this show, but it's called the Minimalist Entrepreneur, something like that. And it just gives you all these resources, man. There's so many free resources out here. There's so many people that are out here that are willing to help you. There's so many people that want to start a business, that want a team, that are looking for someone exactly like you. And there's probably something that you have right now that you can use to your advantage to win. Maybe you're watching this on your phone. If you have a phone, like, there are ways to start businesses and run businesses just from your phone. If you have, I don't know, you have something. You have something available to you that you can use to be resourceful. And so the focus strategy, what the focus strategy does is it lowers the stakes for entry-level entrepreneurs, because it says, hey, man, you don't have to you don't have to do the most. You don't have to go out here and service every single Cadillac that you see around the entire world. You can just you can just focus on servicing Cadillacs that are painted black. You could just service black Cadillacs in your city, and that be your whole thing. It lowers the stakes, okay? It helps you with not spreading your resources too thin, because you're not buying every single thing for every single thing, trying to sell every single thing in terms of warehouse storage and all of that. You're not trying to do all of that. You're keeping your resources focused on a small thing, a small community, a tight-knit clan, and you can put that back into that. You can invest your money back into that. Clientele will grow. Your family or your tribe or your community, or however you want to call it, your customer base, your fans, it'll grow to like you more. And it's just a way to really get out there and get going when you don't have a lot, but you have a good idea and you know exactly you know, an area that you can or interested more in serving in. Okay. The goal is to serve their narrow target markets more effectively and efficiently than do competitors that pound away at the broad market. Common basis for building a focus strategy include zeroing in on a small geographic area, targeting a group of customers with similar needs of interest, or specializing in a specific product or service. So the book gives a couple examples here inside of this sentence. It says, targeting a group of customers with similar needs or interests. The example it gives is left-handed people. Or specializing in a specific product or service. And the example it gives is petite clothing. Now, when you do that, you add in the small geographic area, you add in a couple of things. This goes back to selecting one or more segments, okay? Identifying customer special needs, that like, and bringing it all together, that creates the niche, that creates the focus, that inevitably, like without a doubt, automatically creates differentiation, because who else is doing exactly what you're doing? You're literally creating a customized character on a video game, or a customized business on a video game. Really all you're doing. All right. Last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the book's example. It gives a story, and I'm gonna read these. Probably not gonna do a full breakdown, but I'll read these for you guys, and yeah, take from it what you will. Leave in the comments maybe what you got from it. Leave in the comments what you like about these stories. Leave in the comments if you learned something new about niching or niching. Leave something in the comments about what resonated with you. Okay. All right. So the book gives an example. It gives a story. Entrepreneurial profile. Okay. 𝐲𝐿ehman. In 1955, 𝐲𝐿ehman opened a hardware store, Lehman's, in Kidron, Ohio, a town of fewer than 1,000 residents situated in the midst of Ohio's Amish country, designed to cater to the needs of the 40,000 Amish residents in the surrounding area. Because the Amish 𝐸𝐶, I guess that's what that is. 𝐸𝐶, I guess it means like a way of life. Because of the Amish's way of life, most forms of modern technology and I'm trying to read this and it's not making sense. I don't know. Because the Amish eschew most forms of modern technology and prefer a simple lifestyle, the products in Lehman's are decidedly old-fashioned and are designed to preserve the Amish way of life. This is great, guys. This is great. The 45,000 square foot store is made up of 4 pre-Civil War buildings and carries a unique product line, including wooden buckets and shoulder yokes for carrying them, a full line of canning supplies, hand-powdered ice cream churns, oil lamps, wood stoves, washboards, handmade pottery, and thousands of other items that were readily available to shoppers 100 years ago. Thousands of other items that were readily available to shoppers 100 years ago. Lehman has extended the customer base for his low-tech superstore beyond the local Amish population to become a major supplier of historically accurate artifacts for television shows and films, including the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Lehman's also has become a popular stop for environmentalists, gardeners, cooks, tourists, and the chronically nostalgic and customers from all over the world shop on its website. If you think building a niche business can't work, think again, says Lehman's daughter, Glenda Irvin, who is the company's vice president of marketing. The secret to a successful niche business is realizing that it isn't about you, it's about the customer. Like Jay Lehman, the most successful focusers build a competitive edge by concentrating on specific market niches and serving them better than any other competitor can. Essentially, this strategy depends on creating value for the customer either by being the lowest cost producer or by differentiating the product or service in a unique fashion, but doing so in a narrow target segment. Speedy service, a unique product or service, specialized knowledge, superior customer service, value pricing, and convenience are just some of the ways that companies use focus strategies meet their target customers' unique needs. Speedy service, a unique product or service, specialized knowledge, superior customer service, value pricing, and convenience are just some of the ways that companies using focus strategies meet their target customers' unique needs. To be worth targeting, a niche must be large enough to be profitable, reachable through marketing media, and capable of sustaining a business over time. In other words, not a passing fad. Many small companies thrive in small yet profitable niches, including the following. It goes into some more. The book gives us 3 more examples of this, guys, and these guys can do it. Okay. Many small companies thrive in small yet profitable niches, including the following. In 1975, J.M. Boswell started making pipes by hand and selling them at the retail store that he and his wife Gail operate in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. With their signature fluted bowls, Boswell's pipes, and functional works of art made from white heath briarwood, which he imports from Athens, Greece, and includes a variety of styles ranging from long-stem church warden pipes and shorter nose-warmer pipes to fishing vest pipes and pipes made with deer antler accents. Today, Boswell's son Dan helps his father fill the more than 4,000 orders for pipes that the family-owned business receives from customers around the world. All we do is make pipes, says JM. You've got to love it, and we do. Prices for handcrafted pipes range from $70 to $1,500. Some of Boswell's customers fly in for the day to shop and pursue the pipe museum located on the second floor of the retail store. Example number 3. Rico Elmore's idea for a niche business came to him while he was on his honeymoon in 2004 and wanted to buy a pair of sunglasses. Elmore, who is 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighs 300 pounds, tried on about 300 pairs of sunglasses, but all of the frames were too small to fit his head. I knew I couldn't be the only person in the world with this issue, he says. In 2005, Elmore launched Fatheads, a company that markets a complete line of sunglasses and prescription glasses for customers with large heads. Based in his hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana, Fatheads has 10 employees and generates more than 2 million annual sales. Example number 4. The Peerless Handcuff Company, located in Springfield, Massachusetts, that's a crazy word, Massachusetts, specializes in manufacturing carbon steel handcuffs for law enforcement and military agencies around the world. James Milton Gill founded the company in 1914 after purchasing the patent from inventor George Carney for a new swing-through handcuff design that allowed officers to slap cuffs on suspects with one hand. Gill's great-grandson, Christopher Gill, now manages the 25-employee family-owned business that continues its record of success by focusing on its niche. Closing remarks, okay, and then I'm gonna get off of this. Last couple paragraphs, stick with me. The rewards of dominating a niche can be huge, but pursuing a focus strategy does not carry, the rewards of dominating a niche can be huge, but pursuing a focus strategy does carry risks. Companies sometimes must struggle to capture a large enough share of a small market to be profitable. A niche must be big enough for a company to generate a profit. A successful focus strategy also brings with it a threat: invasion by competitors. If a small company is successful in its niche, there is the danger of larger competitors entering the market and eroding or controlling it. Sometimes a company with a successful niche strategy gets distracted by success and it tries to branch out into other areas. As it drifts further away from its core strategy, it loses its competitive edge and runs the risk of confusing or alienating its customers. Muddying its image with customers puts a company in danger of losing its identity. A successful strategic plan identifies a complete set of success factors: financial, operating, and marketing, that taken together produce a competitive advantage for a small business. The resulting action plan distinguishes the firm from its competitors by exploring its competitive advantages. The focal point of this entire strategic plan is the customer. The customer is the nucleus of any business, and a competitive strategy will only succeed if it is aimed at serving customers better than competitors do. An effective strategy draws out the competitive advantage in a small company by building on its strengths and by making the customer its focus. It also defines methods for overcoming a company's weaknesses, and it identifies opportunities and threats that demand action. So, it's not to scare you, man. It's just to remind you that in the focus strategy, the clients are the focus, your target is your focus. There will be people that come out that want to do business, that want to capture your customer. And, that's why you keep doing business. 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 You adjust and you move forward. You make the necessary adjustments that you need. Find out exactly what you're doing that's your competitive advantage with this area or industry that you're in, and you press on. And when you realize that you're not in an area, okay, that's going to be a whole nother thing in terms of like changing directions, because a lot of people want to be in something, but they haven't seen a certain level of success, and so they want to switch into something else, which is just fine. That's great, you know. But there's also probably something that you just probably haven't done yet in that to really know if it works or not.